Hey guys, it's Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. On this channel, we cut through the hype and the noise, and I give you the non-biased information you can use to hopefully capitalize on the biggest opportunity in history, and that is this current bull run. Guys, today we're going to talk about Kaspa and some of the really bullish news. I think it's bullish. And we'll talk about the big picture and take a look at a couple of the charts. And we're briefly going to talk about where they are with their beta testing. Now, before we dive into this news, hit that like button. All right. As you can see on the screen, it says Bitcoin miner Marathon mined 15 million worth of Kaspa tokens to diversify revenue. Now, why they put 15 million in the title just doesn't make sense to me, because down below it says the miner has mined 93 million of Kaspa tokens since September 2023. Guys, that's a big number. And I'm guessing that had a impact on why Kaspa pulled back from its highs almost like 50%. I think it went from 19 cents back down to right at 10 cents. So what is that, 44%, whatever it was. And that was probably because the miners were mining heavily and the rest of the market literally was tanking. And so they kept selling their Kaspa supply as they mine, which that's just something to think about as we go through this bull market, whether it's Bitcoin or Kaspa or whatever. The miners, for the most part, are going to need that money. Not all of them, especially the ones like Marathon, but I'm guessing because of the halving, Marathon's not making that crazy big money they were making pre-halving. Now, as this bull market starts to heat up, they'll get back on track. It pans out over time. Anyway, now, here's the bullish news. When I related that to Wall Street Connection, who do you think owns Marathon Digital Holdings? Well, Blackrock, Vanguard, Sequoia International, I think I said that right, State Street, and Citadel. Fidelity and a lot of others own shares as well, all the way down the line. There are a lot more name brands that own Marathon, because Marathon was one of the early projects that, with the lack of regulation, that Wall Street could dive into and get exposure to Bitcoin. Anyway, what that tells me is, if nothing else, Kaspa is on the radar of some of the big boys. Now, does that matter long term? We will see. Now, this is pretty bullish as well, and I'll be honest, I don't think I've heard anyone talk about it. But Kaspa just got listed on OKX, and I didn't think that was a big deal, but guys, they have 50 million customers worldwide. That's a lot of customers. Now, let's talk about the beta testing. You know, they came out with the update on the KRC20. They canceled it, I believe, and then it got delayed. But now it's in beta. No concerns there. It's just going to take a while. Now, here's one thing I want everyone to think about before we take a look at these charts. You know, I like Kaspa, and my bag's doing well. I started stacking around 9 cents. I took a handful of profits. I believe, I have to check, I believe I took if I was following what I wanted to do, I took a handful of profits as it pumped. But I'm doing well. Now, I asked the question in my last video, and this is just some alpha for everyone to think about. And I called into question your conviction on Kaspa or any of your projects. This is what I ask and talk about with my coaching clients is, you know, Kaspa rallied to what, 19 cents or whatever, and then it started pulling back to like 10 cents when I did my last video. And, you know, one thing I noticed, no one was making videos. No one was telling you, buy Kaspa, buy the dip, right? It's funny how influencers do that. When everything dies or starts pulling back aggressively, very few step in and say, guys, now's the time to start stacking. Well, I asked the question. I said, if you had conviction at Kaspa, you know, at 12 cents, 14 cents, 18 cents, 19, wherever it went, and now we're back at 10, do you not think you should stack some more? I asked that question. And if you would have, you'd be extremely happy. Now you'd be up, what, 70, 75% or whatever. Anyway, let's take a look at two different charts. Now, you could argue the fact that that's one of the best, most stable charts in all of crypto. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, check it out. Especially, I mean, when you go back to, say, January of 2023, and hey, good on the people that bought back in here. This thing has been as steady as it gets, right? Especially considering how volatile this market is. Yes, it's had like 50% pullbacks or close to it, but that is standard in crypto. But now here's probably the most impressive chart, and very, very few projects, no matter what, look like this. Now, Kaspa is one of the only tokens out there when you compare it to Bitcoin, right? And I highly recommend, guys, if you don't know how to do that, before you start stacking any project, what you can type into Google, like for instance, this is KAS BTC, and TradingView will pop up. Well, if you look at that chart and it's going down against Bitcoin, why would you want to stack whatever project it is? Stack more Bitcoin. Just something to think about. Now, for the year, Kaspa has not outperformed Bitcoin. But for the last 3 months or so, guys, that's a beautiful chart. It looks like it's consolidating. But I believe, and especially when you draw that line, I believe it's consolidating to make a run. And I really think we'll all be impressed when Bitcoin dominance dies, whenever that is. I don't think Bitcoin dominance is going to go down for maybe not even this year. But when it does, the projects like Kaspa that have been keeping up with it or outperforming it for like a year, guys, it could do extremely well. Now, that being said, as positive as I am on Kaspa, and I'm extremely positive for crypto as a whole, I think altcoin season's not going to come until, you know, I don't know, the middle of 2025. I think if we win this election, or if Trump wins the election, I think the economy will absolutely explode. You know, we saw what he's done in the past. He has a track record. He knows how to grow the economy. However, if there's a downside, which there is, in my opinion, inflation's here to stay. Now, it's not going to get crazy like it did in just after COVID. But guys, if you think your taxes are going to go down, I'm talking about property tax. He will cut taxes for the corporations and maybe wealthy individuals. But normal taxes are going to keep going up. Property tax, your house is going to go up. Your rental properties are going to go up. If you own stocks, bonds, it doesn't matter. It's going to probably explode in the next 4 or 5 years. I believe crypto is going to explode a lot more. And I personally believe that this bull run in crypto could be the longest and biggest altcoin season we've ever had. It really depends on how things kick off. But I truly believe that, you know, if number 45 wins this election, the Fed's going to pivot. They're going to start printing money, which is not a good thing. But guys, the days of us not having, inflation are over. And the prices that we're incurring, whether it's car or food or whatever, at best, they just somewhat stabilize to 2 or 3%, but they're not coming back, right? Like that new truck that's $85,000 for a truck, it's not going to drop back down to $50,000. It's just not going to happen, right? The food, prices, they're not going to drop back down. At best, they're only going to increase mildly. But my guess is everything's going to explode, and hopefully by you being in crypto, you can make more money and outrun inflation. That's why Bitcoin is such an amazing asset. That's why you see Blackrock and all the big boys jumping into crypto. Now, I know I'm rambling. That being said, guys, I'm extremely bullish on Kaspa. I could see Kaspa getting to, 30 cents, 50 cents, $1. Now, some people would tell you it could go to $10, and I really don't know. But I will say this. What I like the best about Kaspa is that we're not going to get dumped on. The worst dumping, for the most part, would be the miners. And that's something we can incur, especially in the bull market, especially in altcoin season. It'd be a blip. So that's a good thing. The community is strong. It's pretty much grassroots, right? And most people are not looking to sell anytime soon. I would think that most people are at least wanting to double, triple, quadruple their portfolio from here. So they're probably not going to be selling Kaspa anytime soon. So what that tells me is you should feel comfortable buying the dip if that's something you want to. Hopefully, your bags are already packed. Now, for me, unless I'm going to swing trade, I don't buy many dips from here. I've stacked most of my Kaspa, and I'm just going to let it ride. I'm going to take a handful probably every time it rallies hard, and that's it. Now, if and when something changes, I might start buying the dips as swing trades. But that's me. I know I'm rambling. Anyway, I got to shut up. Hey, guys, I do one-on-one coaching. If you think you need some help learning how to dollar cost average in and out, or, how to compare these projects or how to get a game plan, my coach is only $250 for 3 Zoom or phone calls. I think it'd help you out a lot. Now, whether you take me up on that or not, do yourself a favor, and this is not financial advice, but get a game plan and take profits or you'll become the profits. All right, guys, that's all I got. Hit that like button, share with like-minded people, and no matter what, come back and be part of this community. Take care.